One of the most common questions that I get on this channel and also from my clients is, what is the best neighborhood for me to move? Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're already interested in Clovis at least a little bit, but you need a little bit more information in terms of the city itself. So by the end of this video, you will have a better idea of what to expect in different areas. We're going to zoom right into Clovis, which is right in the Central Valley of California, neighbor and suburb to Fresno. And so we can see what the map of Clovis actually looks like. This is going to be the boundary. This red boundary here is going to show you what the city limits are. And like I said in the introduction, as we start looking at these different neighborhoods, we're going to get a better feel for what they look like. And let me tell you, this northwest section, the northeast, all four corners here, we're going to see that they feel very different. They look very different. And the amenities that you're going to have access to, the freeway, the grocery stores, all that is going to feel a little bit different in each area. These middle areas here, as we intersect, you're going to start to see a little bit of a blend. That's also going to affect the prices that you might see. I'm going to try to stay away from prices as much as I can in this video, just because I want to give an overview so that you as the viewer can find the different things that are going to make you want to move to a certain area over the other. I'll also try to leave my own biased opinion out of this, just point out what the facts are, the locations, and help give you as much information as you might need in order to make an informed decision. Now, even though we have this outline here of Clovis, which is in red, I also want to point out that there is an area just to the east of that, and I'll highlight it here. All of this countryside here, with the exception of maybe a patch or two here and there, that is all technically still in the Clovis city, or not city limits, but it is still technically Clovis. And to prove that, we're going to click down at the bottom, Clovis, California. Clovis, California, down here past Wolf Lakes. This might be Fresno. Nope, still Clovis, California. So even though this is technically, it's the unincorporated section of Clovis, and there are beautiful homes and definitely great areas to live out there, I'll cover this unincorporated section in a separate video, and for the purpose of today, we're going to focus just on the city limits, which is this middle red area. So let's jump right into this northwest corner. Now, one thing that we're going to find, actually let's pull up Clovis again, just so we get this boundary at the risk of having the stuff on the side here. I don't like that, but I think the boundary is going to be very important for this section. So what I want to point out before we jump further is we're going to see lots of little specks of green on this map of Clovis, and it's going to vary differently from section to section. And these specks of green are parks. We can see some larger areas here, but there are also what I call micro parks. There's probably a term for it that's more specific, but we're going to call them micro parks for the purpose of the video. And this is what I'm talking about here. Park, park. This is a small park. Another one. Here, this is a larger park. Actually, these are two separate parks. There as well. So even just around this Buchanan High School area, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 parks. And that's going to be a feature that you see all throughout Clovis, but more so in certain areas than others. I want you to keep in mind those green areas as we start to progress through this map of Clovis. So as we pointed out, we've got Buchanan High School right here in the middle. This is going to be the Buchanan High School campus. We've got it outlined here, this entire block of city there. So not only is it the Buchanan High School, but this campus, which is similar to other high schools in the area, it features a middle school. This is Alta Sierra Intermediate School, as well as Garfield Elementary School. We also have Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Buchanan Softball Complex. There's a baseball field here. And if we zoom out just a little bit, we can see several different neighborhoods. These neighborhoods are going to vary in in style and price, but for the most part, they have access to the same amount of amenities, right? For example, Highway 168 is here. Let's see. If this is the area we're taking a look at, then Highway 168 is there, it's there, it's there, it's there. So we're dealing with even Highway 41 on the other side. Like for the most part, you're going to be getting similar access to freeways. You're going to be shopping pretty much in the same areas. A major section for shopping is going to be Willow Avenue. Willow Avenue, if we zoom in, Trader Joe's, there's a Save Mart here. There's also a steakhouse, a bike path that runs across here so people can walk and bike to these different amenities. Panda Express, The Point, which is kind of a $2 Stein's, I don't want to say upscale, but it's not a cheap place to eat for most people. Wasabi, which is a sushi spot. So there is a lot of like grocery and food shops here as well. One thing that I want to do while we're still in this northeast area is jump into our terrain view and take a look at this Buchanan High School campus, just to give you an idea of the greenery and the different stadiums, the location and proximity of the like buildings and the elementary, middle, and high school. So we're going to look at this bottom portion of the campus, which is where most of the fields are. There is a middle school track field here, as well as several baseball fields. I believe these are like the middle school baseball field, the JV baseball field, the freshman baseball field. And then we also have what looks like elementary school kickball fields for Garfield Elementary, as well as the Buchanan softball complex, 5 different fields. The highlight of this entire campus is probably the football field and track. This track is used for lots of, they use a state track meet there, but they also have several college track meets over the years there. Parking with solar panels. In fact, this gate, don't quote me on this, but it used to be shut for everyone. I think they opened the gate for people who want to do stadiums. If you're into fitness, I know my dad used to go there and run stadiums. I think he used to jump the fence, so I'm not sure if people are still jumping the fence or if they're letting them in, but a lot of people will go here to work out during the day. Also have a very nice baseball field here, these soccer fields, this very huge open field, which you'll see a lot of youth sport practices out there. We also have swimming pool, tennis courts, some basketball courts over here for like rec play, more tennis courts, a pool, Alta Sierra, which has this circular design, Buchanan High School, which has this half circle design, and there is also, I don't see it marked on the map, but there is, I forget what the actual name of the building is, but it's like Clean Air and Environmental Science Building. Big on the sciences. Now let's just zoom in on a couple of the neighborhoods that we might find nearby. One thing that I want to point out of these different neighborhoods, because some have been here longer than others, are things like these trees. You'll start to see more mature trees and foliage in different areas. We've got bushes. I don't see any huge trees here. These are pretty big. Those have been there a while. But you'll start to see in some of the newer developments where they have like less developed trees, a little bit smaller, not as much shade. This neighborhood has a sidewalk. Looks like a feature of this specific neighborhood has a little porch area with an entryway that starts on the side, a little hedge there. Nice brick front. more brick, lots of palm trees. I also want to point out that you do see real grass in these front yards. This one looks like it's paved for the most part, but there is small front yards that require attention. As I say that, this one has almost no grass. Interesting design. I haven't seen a house like this before. A little U shape in this neighborhood with a direct front entry. Let's jump up a little bit. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. In this neighborhood, you'll see a few pools. Okay, there's a lot of pools. See, this looks like most houses, maybe not most, but several houses in this neighborhood do have pools. And just to zoom out and give context, we are just north of Buchanan High School here. Then I'm just gonna zoom around to another neighborhood just for the sake of time. What I want to do, and just to give you an idea of what my thought process is here, I want to go ahead and give you a general idea of the different areas of Clovis, and then if this is helpful, I want to zoom in more specifically on like Northeast Clovis, Northwest Clovis, and give you a more in-depth view on these neighborhoods, types of houses you can see. But I want this to be a general overview just to give you a place to start. So we'll jump over to the Northeast section. There's an area here called Harlan Ranch, one of the most unique communities in Clovis. We have several different independent communities in here, but from here, the closest high school is still going to be Buchanan High School, I believe. Let's see, Buchanan is here, Harlan Ranch is here. There's also Clovis North, but that is up here. Right? Yeah, right there. And so even that is still a little bit further away than Buchanan. So let's jump into Harlan Ranch. There is an elementary school here, Bud Rank Elementary, which is dead center in Harlan Ranch. And then just east of Harlan Ranch, you're going to see the DeVille Park area. DeVille Park is here, but it is separated down the middle between DeVille East and DeVille West. DeVille West is going to be more established homes. They've been there a lot longer. DeVille East is going to be a more, I believe it's Granville Homes is developing that area right now. Lots of unfinished properties. In fact, we can take terrain view and you'll see that in this area there are lots of empty lots here. So DeVille East, DeVille West. I want to zoom in on this area first so we can see what these newer developments are, and then I'm going to jump over to Harlan Ranch and so show some of those properties as well. Let's see. So these are newer, they're still being built. No side, one side of the street has a sidewalk here. There we go. Now we're zooming. This looks like faux grass, what do they call that? I'm blanking on the name of it. Turf, astroturf, or synthetic grass, which is great. It also gets really, really hot in the summers on that synthetic grass. I remember at the water park I used to work at, we had that everywhere, and people would step on that to get off the cement, and it was hotter than the cement. So just keep that in mind. Less water, but it does get pretty hot there. So this is what I was talking about in terms of the greenery here, right? We don't see any of those large trees except way in the distance. You'll get more of the sapling and bushes. This might be real grass, it's hard to tell, but you'll start to see a lot more of that faux grass in these neighborhoods. A lot of these newer neighborhoods also have an artsy style going with I mean, I guess all neighborhoods have an artsy style, right? They have their own feel, their own vibe, own developers, but there's brick here on the front, but not the entire house. Let's go down Loyola, check this area out. Community mailbox. Yeah, I see more synthetic grass here. Front entryway. A wooden garage door is a very similar feature in a lot of these. It's like wood paneling garage. Looks like almost every other house. This one has a normal white garage, then wood paneling garage. So you'll start to see these newer developments have their own unique styles and features. So that was DeVille East. I don't know, I'm left-handed, so all my directions are backwards. That's my excuse. So let's pop over to Harlan Ranch. We've got Bud Rank Elementary, which is right in the center of this community. And I actually want to jump into this community from the entrance to Harlan Ranch. So this is DeWolf. There's a turn in here. And then there is this entryway with flowers and palm trees coming into this community. There's also a sign here that says Harlan Ranch somewhere, but must have been missed from the Google Maps. Large entryway into the neighborhood with trees. These are not quite as large as that first neighborhood we looked at, but still more developed than DeVille East. And eventually we're going to get to some houses right here in the middle. Lots of signs saying children at play and go slow. And even in this community, can I see it from here? Estate sale today, that's funny. I wonder how old that is. So these homes are a little bit different. So we're looking at, we have these trees in the front yard. We're seeing real grass, palm trees, different types of trees. That's a better view there. It's a nice 3-car garage. Little gated entry. Still pretty minimal front yards. It looks like there's not a whole lot of upkeep in terms of mowing lawns. Spin around here. Yeah, not a whole lot of front yard grass. But let's take a look at what the backyards are going to look like here, right? Still, we're seeing pools. Which in terms of pools, you're looking at a higher energy cost. You've got to pay for the water. You've got to pay for the cleaning if you need a pool cleaner. But having a pool in the summer here it's pretty nice. Especially we're looking at this week is we just came off a weekend of 116 degrees. So if you don't have a pool in your house, you should find a neighbor that has one and make friends with them, right? Let's see. Might have gone, are we in? Yeah, we're still in Harlan Ranch. Still some pools. In terms of backyard, like this looks like their backyard is entirely pool. So the backyards are not as large as some of the houses that we saw in the first neighborhood, but there are still rooms for pools. And with Harlan Ranch specifically, I want to point out this area. It is a community recreation center. I believe most of these homes have a homeowners association fee, and I think part of that goes to pay for the rec center. There is, I wonder if it'll let me go street view here. Yeah, okay. So Harlan Ranch Commons, this is their rec center. There is a park across the street. This is Bud Rank Elementary off to the right. Wouldn't that be crazy if it let us go in there? I guess Google Maps still has its limitations, which is a good thing, right? There are also these townhome style homes across the street from that rec center. Very different style from the last couple that we saw. Little walkway or driveway. It looks like it's red zone, so maybe this is like emergency access, or it looks like there's garages back there. So maybe that's access to the garages, but they don't want you to block that area because people need to come in and out. I do know that parking in Harlan Ranch, from what I've heard from residents there, can be pretty strict. That you can only park on the street for so long and not overnight, or I've heard stories of people like trying to parking in front of their home to take their groceries from their car inside and getting towed, or like something ridiculous like that. Like, it is strict from what I've heard. So lots of greenery here, a big open small amphitheater with a big open grassy area if you have dogs or just want to go play catch with your kid. Great area for that. So Harlan Ranch. So that is going to be northeast Clovis. As far as amenities, if we're looking at, like I said, the nearest high school is going to be Buchanan High. Clovis North is up to the north a little bit further. We also have to the east. In terms of shopping, the good news is you have 168, which is the Highway 168, just running here, and Harlan Ranch is here, so you have easy access, which is good if you're trying to get across town, but that means that the amenities aren't necessarily right next door. Looking for, is it Fowler? I know that there is a place to eat, Clovis Meat Market, here we go. There is a meat market here with a boutique, Me and Ed's, which is a local pizza place. That's $2 signs? Me and Ed's, come on. Inflation. Dating myself, but man, I remember getting a pizza for like $7, right? Gone are those days. But in terms of eating, we've got 168. That's going to take you down to Fowler and 168. This is probably the nearest grocery spot. Fowler and 168 here. Let's go back. Here we've got Save Mart. There's a gym here, a local gym called GB3. It's George Brown 3 Fitness. There are some ramen places, another fitness area, a supermarket, Aldi. This area here is another hub of delicious food. Got batter up pancakes, a Jack in the Box, and across the street, oh, there's a Vons here too, right? Yeah, Vons. This is a Vons, which is a supermarket if you're not familiar. Chipotle Mexican Grill, Butterfish, which is like sushi bowls, poke bowls, Five Guys, Crumble. And to give context of where we can get here, let's see, our amenities are located here, which is right on 168, which can take you up to Harlan Ranch. So not super far, but it's not necessarily right within your neighborhood. Now heading down, for the sake of time, let's go down to southeast. That's going to take us to Loma Vista. The area we'll be covering is here. Loma Vista is a newer, what is the word? Master plan community, which is Lennar, and there's another builder out here. Is it KB Homes? I think it's KB Homes. But don't quote me on that. I'll find out for the next video. We also have Clovis East High School. I lost it. Here we go. Clovis East High School. It has Reagan Elementary School as well as Rayburn Intermediate. Sort of like what we saw with Buchanan High School. We've got several different schools. Let's look at the terrain view. Elementary school is down here in the right corner, lower right corner. Also got a football field, baseball field, some, not lesser, but junior varsity, freshman, elementary, those baseball fields, soccer field, softball fields, tennis, it's like some basketball courts, the pool. And then the campus itself is, this is Rayburn, which is the intermediate school. And then we have Clovis East High School, which is the high school. Looks like an amphitheater. Clovis East is known for their, is it FFA? Is that the word? Not FHA, FFA. Like the farmer, like farming, livestock. They have, that's what their specialty is in terms of programs. So you'll start to see more agriculture surrounding it. We've got different parks, fields for agriculture, Forget exactly where, but I think they have like a livestock. This area right here. This is their... Is that right? I'm pretty sure that this is associated with the school here. These fields are for their, yeah, agriculture center. Here we go. So this is also part of the high school. And then as we zoom out a little bit, the surrounding areas across the street. Let's take a look. Take a look at these homes. What do we notice, everyone? No big trees. But we do have a much bigger front yard, right? In terms of compared to the other ones. So some grass here to mow. 2-car garage, front entryway. 2-story home with a little bit of patch of grass. Sidewalk. I know that there are places, some of the viewers from out of state might maybe not laugh, but the fact that there are sidewalks in all of the neighborhoods that I've looked at so far is baffling to me, because I know that there are a lot of neighborhoods in these areas that don't have sidewalks. They have narrower streets where the front doors of the houses are a little bit closer together. Parking is sparse. So the 3 neighborhoods that we've looked at random have all had sidewalks. So if you want to see a better idea of like those neighborhoods that I'm talking about, I'll be posting another video about these specific neighborhoods, like Southeast Clovis, Northwest Clovis, and diving deeper into the different types of homes that you might find. So stay tuned for that. 2-story home, that's a relatively large front yard from the ones that we've looked at today. I don't want to put that guy on blast, and since he's in his front yard, don't look at him, don't look at him. All right. Let's see. A little bit of dirt here. And then let's zoom out again. And let's get back into terrain view. Let's check out these green dots, right? Once again, we've got Clovis East High School is here. And then we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 parks just in the surrounding areas on the screen. So those micro parks are a big deal in Clovis. As we start looking out here, let's see what the layers are. See a lot more agriculture. We're starting to tend toward that unincorporated area, like I said at the beginning. And that's all still being developed. Like Loma Vista is very much still in development. And we can see that in their Wingstop coming soon, Menchie's frozen yogurt coming soon. So there are plans to develop this out a little bit further so that there are going to be more amenities that are directly embedded in this neighborhood. Starbucks, Arco. But you can see a lot of open land here, very much still in development. So in terms of shopping, also have Freedom Elementary here. Let's find the nearest shopping. I believe it's Ashland and at the very least Armstrong and Ashland. Here we go. Here's a Vaughn's, Fowler and Ashland, Vaughn's, Panda Express, Me and Ed's, again, a local pizza spot, Jack in the Box. I know that there are some places across the street as well. CVS Pharmacy, more pizza, Arsenio's Mexican food. We got KFC if you're into fried chicken, donuts, Robertito's Mexican food. So to give context from where we were and where that's at, got shopping, groceries, and Ashland, and this is the area that we were at. So not too far, easy, just from Ashland, a couple minutes probably, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, maybe less, probably less than that, probably 5 minutes. and that is Southeast Clovis, Southeast Clovis, Loma Vista. And finally, while we wrap up, we're going to take a look at the boundary here. We'll jump over to Southwest Clovis. This is going to be a little bit older, a little bit more established, early Clovis days. We've got Old Town Clovis over here. There's a Costco. Old Town Clovis is, let's see, Clovis Avenue. And so I guess it's closer to Central Clovis, right? City Center, that's Old Town Clovis right there. So let's jump over here and show what Southwest Clovis looks like. Tarpey Elementary School, in terms of high schools, the closest one is going to be Clovis High. Clovis High School is here at La Monica Stadium. And then this one does not have an elementary and middle school attached. They will be separate. Get rid of that. Clark Elementary is just down the street on Barstow. Barstow? Bullard. Bullard. Yeah. Clovis Rodeo. I have all of a sudden lost Clark Middle School. Here we go, Clark Intermediate. So we've got Clovis High School here. Clark Intermediate is right there. So not super far from each other, but not exactly across the street. If you have children who are at different age levels, you're going to have to drop them off at two different schools. So I digress. So that is the closest middle school and high school to this southwest area. So United Artists, there's a movie theater, we have Applebee's, Olive Garden, there's lots of shopping over here, there's a Walmart. Give you a second, what do we notice about this area? If you said micro parks and the lack thereof, you win. So in this Clovis area, I see 1, 2, 3. And that's partly because it's an old area, it's been there a little bit longer, the city planning, whatever it is, but not a whole lot of parks in this area. Let's jump into satellite view, because we're already getting a little bit long here. Arbitrarily picking a neighborhood, and these homes are a little bit older. You see a bigger front yard, more established trees. I mean, honestly, not a whole lot of trees in the neighborhood at all. 2 palm trees and 1 giant tree. But looking down the road, not a whole lot of trees. Still sidewalks on both sides. We've got telephone poles and light poles. A little bit older. Jump across the street here. Still front yard. A few more trees. That one looks like it was for sale at the time of taking this video. That's funny. Or not the video, but got street cleanup, possibly, or maybe that's someone's porch. Like to enjoy the nice sunset. Here's some bigger trees, a little rope swing. There we go. So this gives you an idea of what some of the older homes in Clovis are looking like. Not too many 2-story homes here, a little bit bigger front yard. In terms of schools, there are going to be a few nearby, but they're separate. Clovis High, Clark Intermediate, Tarpey Village Elementary, and jumping back up, let's go back to this, and just highlight Clovis once again. So here we are, we've got Clovis. We talked about the northwest, the northeast, down in the southeast with Loma Vista, and then a little bit with that southwest portion. They're all very, very different. I hope that this helps a little bit in giving you an idea of what the different types of homes and different amenities in those areas are. Once again, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper in this playlist on map videos and give you a better sense of exactly what types of home are in these areas, and even in that like these in-between areas where they start to blend together a little bit. So if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments what you liked about it, what you didn't like, if there's information that you wish I had provided, or if you like this type of video at all, and if it was helpful. Because again, at the end of the day, I really just want to provide you with content that will help you inform your decision and get you into the life that you want to live.